Hey folks, Trubie here, once again to talk to you about Dice Masters. Um, Happy New Year! It's been a great year for Dice Masters, and I thought, what better time than the first of 2008 to go back and look at what was great about 2017. So, I've got a big stack of cards here. I'm going to try to fly through and just do a revisit of all the cards of 2017 that were pretty awesome. However, before I get to that, local store business. First off, this Sunday, Thor set. Come, be worthy. We'll be doing our draft at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Also, those of you in the Pittsburgh area, New Dimension Comics at Century 3, they are looking for Dice Masters players. So get in contact with them. Let them know you want to play. But yeah, that's basically all the news I've got. So yeah, let's get right into this, because I got a lot of cards to cover. And yeah, once again, going one-man team. All right, so we started 2017 with our first set, the Ninja Turtles Heroes in a Half Shell. Besides some great basic actions like Mutation, Splinter's Teachings, we also had Unstable Canister, Haymaker. It was a very greatest hits of our basic actions. But beyond the basic actions, some things that were pretty cool were like Renette Tilly, which I know I'm pronouncing right because it is Renette, not Renee. This is one of the cards that we thought would probably make a big meta impact, but didn't. It still might. You never know. But yeah, well, Renette Tilly is active. At the end of your roll and reroll steps, you may spend any action in your reserve pool on a non-energy face to another face. So if you needed to get to a double burst face, she would get you that. Or if you needed energy, get you that. It's a cool card. It just never really came into play as much as we initially thought it would. However, my favorite card from this set is still, let's move that over here as the runner-up, Metalhead, Dissociative Identity. And yeah, that's when Metalhead attacks, other non-Metalhead Turtles character dice cannot be blocked. I love this because it gives Turtles a win condition. They're a fun little team to play. They just never quite got the real coup de grace, killer hit, and Metalhead gave him that. And the other nice thing was, yeah, he is a 6 cost, but with the turtle power mechanic, which makes turtle affiliation characters cost 1 less for each turtle power character out, he could easily get down to a 4, 3, 2 cost and get your turtles in really cheap. So it was a great card, and I mean a fun set. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this treatment with, of course, the Warhammer 40k set coming out this year. It was a long night last night. Alright, so let's go on to our next set. Our next release in 2017 was the Iron Man War Machine set. This once again had a lot of great basic actions, some good reprints, but one of the most killer cards from the set was War Machine Rhodey. And yeah, having fast, and when War Machine KOs an opposing character die with combat damage, deal 2 damage to your opponent, and on burst he gets +1 attack. This is a killer card. I tried to use this in the Virtual Worlds, the first Virtual Worlds. Did pretty well with it, got to the top 8, top 16, whatever it was. But yeah, unfortunately found that I crumbled under Blink Transmutation. But still, it's a great card, but not my favorite in the set. I actually really love, and still love, Rescue. With a Suit Up, Pepper Potts, or Rescue, at the end of your roll and reroll step, your opponent loses 1 life for each rescue die that rolled an energy face. I actually use this in my Worlds team. Didn't go quite as well as I liked, but still, I still really love this card. And I think with Pepper Potts making a reappearance in the upcoming Thor set, I think she's really going to need to be revisited. I also think this whole Iron Man War Machine set in general is probably going to need to be revisited because we've got a new Pepper Potts and a new War Machine. A new Iron Man. And there's also the Thor Buster Iron Man. So there's several new Stark affiliation characters coming out. So yeah, this is still a good set. Keep your eye on it. But yeah, Rescue was my pick of this set. I love her. Let's go on to our next one. I need an intern to do this stuff for me. All right, so next we had the Defender set. Now, right from the bat, this was our second team pack. The first one was the Defenders. That came out in 2016. But now, 2017, we had, Doctor Strange was 2016, Defenders was 2017. So, first up, Hellcat was a pretty cool card. Both of these, Hell's Bells and It's Patsy, were at first making a little bit of a splash, but they sort of fell by the wayside. Hell's Bell, so when fielded, name a die, replacing all previous choices. Your opponent cannot purchase that die next turn. So that was thought of as a good way to slow down your opponent if they're going for like that first 2-3 turn kill or something that's really aggressive, really up front. Get Hellcat out, say, okay, get her out, name Ultraman, you can't buy that, and or say Kryptonite, you can't buy Kryptonite next turn. Then try to get her knocked out, refuel her, and try to keep that up to basically slow down your opponent and hobble their momentum. Then Hellcat, it's Patsy. When fielded, name target opposing non-sidekick character, replacing all previous choices. While Hellcat is active, deal 2 damage to your opponent the first time they field that character die. This was another one that at first was kind of a big deal. It gave you a way of I'm forgetting her name from War of Light, but basically it was a way of another piece of control. It got a ruling against it that I think it had to target a die, which kind of hurt it, but still it's a strong card. I still like it, but it still wasn't my favorite in the set though. Now Iron Fist, this is one that I think was really good, but it just never really caught on. I think maybe his cost was a little too high to be really competitive. But when Iron Fist attacks, deal 1 damage to each opposing sidekick. While Iron Fist is active, your opponent is dealt 1 damage for each sidekick KO'd by this effect. So there's potentially a lot of damage, and you can keep on sending them in at your opponent. It's a strong, versatile card, but it just never quite got there. However, my favorite card in this set was Jessica Jones. Ladies' Night. Jessica Jones gets +1/+1 whenever one of your character dice is targeted by global or character ability. So she still hasn't been used a lot in competitive that I'm aware of, but I think she has a lot of I think there's a lot of promise with her, especially like if you give her +1 attack with Haymaker, or I think Hulk in the Thor set is going to have a pump global on her. She basically doubles that, or if you are using Awaken, you awaken one of your characters by spinning it up. She also gets a +1. So I think she's a very strong card. It just hasn't quite. It might be that 5 fielding cost is sort of preventing her from being a huge card, but still, I love her. She's my favorite card in the set. And now we move on. Trying to rocket through these quick to the Batman set. Now, Batman set, there was a lot to love in this set. It was just really good. The flip cards were a hell of a lot of fun. I still really like them. I have a flip team actually in my my Zen bin that I just sort of whip out every now and then when I want to play something goofy but fun. And there was a lot of really great cards in here. I mean, Darkseid with the giving all your sidekicks swarm was still a beast. That made a huge splash at Worlds. Lots of people were playing it. He's just a really strong card. I really like Parademon. While Parademon is active, when a player draws 1 or more dice, deal 1 damage to that player. Also a pretty darn cool card, but still not my favorite from the set. There's also the Batman with the flip mechanic, who's kind of like the must-have rare from the set, who, when fielded, your opponent must reroll their active non-villain character dice, and on the other side, when fielded, your opponent must reroll their active villain character dice. So he can he's a great source of removal, but he's still at only 50% removal with regular characters. However, he's still like my runner-up. My favorite card in this set is actually Common Firefly. When fielded, deal 1 damage to your opponent for each bolt character die you control. I love this card because it's a common that is a really strong win condition, but not too strong, not like Guy Gardner. This is like just a really good, fun win condition that you can build a team around really easy. It's just a nice entry-level card, good good damage. It's just, yeah, it's a lot to love about it. And yeah, his fielding cost is a little rough, and I think that's actually good because it keeps him from being too overpowered. I really love that card. He's my favorite in the set. Next up, Superman and Wonder Woman starter. So again, more great basic actions. They really, in 2018, they hit it out of the park with the basic actions. There's everything that needed to be reprinted was reprinted, and all the good new stuff was brought in. It's a really good year for basic actions. But in this set, though, I'm still all about this Giganta Global and Giganta in general. I still love this card a lot. While Giganta is active, when a character die spins up, each of your Giganta dice get +1/+1, and the Global pay Fist, spin target character die up 1 level. This is so great with the Awaken ability, and also with, I went back in the Virtual Worlds. The second Virtual Worlds. I was using this with the Atom. And so you'd spin the Atom down to level 1 to deal 3 damage to an opposing character die. Then you just spin a Fist, spin him back up, spin him back down, another 3 damage. So you're basically converting each Fist to 3 damage. It was very nice. But not my favorite card in the set. We also had Wonder Woman. While Wonder Woman is active, global abilities activated by your opponent cannot target character dice you control. I like that. Child of Play was great. Actually, all 3 of the Wonder Womans in this set are completely playable and all very strong. It just depends on really your meta, like what you need to protect yourself from the most. But still, once again, not my favorite card in the set. My favorite of all things is actually Jimmy Olsen. While Jimmy Olsen is active, your Superman and Supergirl character dice cost 2 less to purchase and may be fielded for free. See, I love this because, yeah, Jimmy Olsen himself isn't that strong, his stats are really low, but he makes Superman a marquee character for DC that has never really been the big heavy hitter he needed to be in Dice Masters. Jimmy Olsen alone made Superman good. I like all the Supermen became super viable because of Jimmy Olsen, and the Supergirls as well. So he's an awesome card as a supplement to all the Superman and Supergirl dice or cards that have already been released, and I love that. I love when a card comes out that makes you rethink everything you've known about the game so far. It makes you go back and rethink everything you thought previously, and Jimmy Olsen did that, and I think that was awesome. Let's go back. Next up, our next team pack, the Spider-Man Maximum Carnage set. This was another brilliant release. Pretty much everything in it is super usable, and I like it a lot. There's the Superman, or got Superman on mine still. The Spider-Man that forces your opponent to block your sidekicks, and they don't take damage. There's the Captain America that lets you field sidekicks with the Global, and then boost sidekicks. But I mean, flat out the best card in the set. Anyone's going to tell you. If I said anything else, it'd be crazy. It'd be Shriek. When fielded, choose an opposing character card, replacing all previous choices. While Shriek is active, ignore that card's text. It's a great card. It really is. Now, some people don't like it because it brings you into sort of a mini game with Dice Masters where I have Shriek, you have Shriek. Who's going to Shriek first? Not quite a little crooked. Yeah, some people have complained about that, and I get it. It does sort of take away a slot that you'd have, but now you feel like you have to have her because your opponent might have her. But I think we're going to get to a point, just like with Professor Xavier. When that was big, everyone had it, and it eventually got to the point where some people stopped having it because they realized they could just rely on their opponents, and then if they could punish their opponent for using it, then they had the advantage. And I think Shriek's going to get there eventually as well. She's strong. She's absolutely strong. But I think if your opponent is relying on her and is going to be buying her, that's time that you could be buying something else. Or time you could be buying something to get rid of her. So I think she's awesome. I love her. But she's not the pain that a lot of people are saying she is. But yeah, she's an awesome card. But let's move on to our next one, try and rocket through these. And now we get to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, 2017 started a little slow, but here at the end of the year, it just went bam, 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 bam. It really just went nuts, and we got a ton of great stuff all at once, which, as a person who loves to build, it was a little overwhelming because there's so much stuff I want to build with these new cards, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But one of the best things about Guardians of the Galaxy is fine representation of facial hair. Dum Dum Dugan. I still like this card. I'm keeping this team I built in our previous videos in my Zen bin, but not one of my favorites. Yondu, Ruthless Pirate. I love this card because when fielded, Yondu deals 1 damage to your opponent for each of your active Guardians characters. It gives Guardians of the Galaxy a valid win condition. The Guardians previously, like with Age of Ultron, were strong, but not strong enough. Like, I really wanted them to work, but they just didn't quite do it. Yondu here helps. Now, if you're playing Golden Age, you have all those classic Guardians from Age of Ultron to use. Right now, you have the ones from the Deadpool had Angela. We had a bunch of rockets, like in Civil War, and on. So we're a little limited, but well, we were limited until Guardians of the Galaxy came out. Now we have tons of Guardians to choose from. So yeah, with Yondu, Guardians affiliation is completely viable, but still not the strongest card in this set. We also had King Black Bolt, who is a win condition all on his own. You just target him with globals and ping your opponent. Another like really strong killer card. But we're still not done. We also had Nowhere. You may swap any character die in your use pile or field zone for an unpurchased character die costing 1 more. Return the swap to its card. Character die swapped in the field zone stay on the same level. So we had our birthing pod in Dice Masters, which also made things like King Black Bolt much more viable because you no longer had to spend the 4 energy. You could just use Nowhere to get the 4 cost. So yeah, I'm actually probably going to toy around with this with Zar Colossus. But still, not the biggest impact card from this set. The biggest impact card is without a doubt Cosmic Cube. Whenever an action die or character ability deals damage this turn, increase that damage by 2. This is a card that we're going to see a lot going forward. People are going to be using this constantly, so if you are not ready for this, you are going to have trouble. It is a very strong card. It makes things like Infiltrate stronger, it makes Breath Weapon stronger, it makes Black Bolt stronger, King Black Bolt stronger. It's a very strong card, but manageable. You just have to know, you have to build being ready to manage it. And that will bring us into the tools to manage Cosmic Cube. This was my choice for the best card in this set. But thankfully, just 1 set later, we got other tools to combat it. The XMen set. Now this set had Awaken. I loved Awaken. I think that's fantastic. Obviously, I used it in Virtual Worlds and really enjoyed it. We had stuff like Jubilee here. When she spins up a level, deal 1 damage to all opposing character dice. That is so great in draft. It keeps your opponent's field clear of sidekicks and can help you get things through. I really love her, but once again, not my favorite. The favorites come in when we talk about things to deal with that Cosmic Cube. One thing that was really nice that came out was Scarlet Witch. So while Scarlet Witch is active, during your opponent's roll and reroll step, your opponent must reroll any action dice that land on an action face and cannot reroll any action dice on energy faces. So that makes it that they have to roll Cosmic Cube on the second roll in order to use it. It's just a great way. They have to roll Cosmic Cube twice. So yeah, Scarlet Witch is a great way to stop that. Another thing she also stops is Lantern Ring, or if they're trying to use Nowhere. It's a really great card. It just works fantastic. Kryptonite, if you're going up against a Ultraman team, she's wonderful. She's absolutely wonderful. But not my favorite. I gotta say, my favorite is still Bishop. Butterfly Effect. while Bishop is active. Prevent all non-combat damage dealt to you. So, who cares if they have all these cosmic cubes coming out and dealing extra damage with Awaken or Firefly or Infiltrate? Bishop stops all of it. He just says, no damage, no. Now, granted, if he gets hit by Kryptonite or by Shriek, he's out. But if you can get him out and your opponent is then concentrating on getting him off the field, that gives you an opportunity to go do your win condition and get in for the win. So yeah, I love this set. I love the X-Men, and Bishop is my favorite card from this set. Also, I gotta say about X-Men, I think this set has a lot of things that are gonna pop up later on. I think there are a lot of hidden gems, like there's the rare Avalanche. Whenever you field a villain, deal 1 damage across the board. That's gonna be really great, I think. The stuff like Scarlet Witch. You have the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants affiliation. Blob is still great. There's a lot in this set that I think are going to be frequently used until they're rotated out. I really think this is just like one of the most powerful sets we've seen in a while. And then of course I just showed all the great stuff in Guardians. So yeah, we got 2 really great sets back to back, and we also got a 3rd great set in Tomb of Annihilation. So, I went through all that stuff saying how great the other 2 sets were, but Tomb was also fantastic. One thing is, the Yuan-Ti Pureblood, both the common and the super rare are going to be great going forward. Just depends on what you're trying to build. The common here has a tune, so whenever you use an action die, she deals damage, and then if you use an action die, she's unblockable. Then the super rare says that when you use an action die, or when you buy an action die, you activate a tune for all character types that have a tune, which is pretty great as well. That also works well with the traps in Tomb of Annihilation. These traps are a lot of fun. I do like them. I haven't quite built a team around them. I did last draft. I tried to do all traps, and it actually worked pretty well. But it's pretty neat. I like the way they're thinking with this. In this case, we have the Kobold Trap. It comes out, and then if your opponent fields a level 2 character die, it activates. And when it activates, choose one of your unpurchased character dice with a purchase cost of 2 or less. Move that character die to your field zone on its level 2 side. So if I have this out, it activates. I can get a Yuan-Ti Pureblood for free and put it right into play. And of course, that also would work great with Kobolds, Batiri Battle Sacks, Chingwa, all your Swarm characters. It's a great little card. But we also had other awesome stuff, like then you do dragons and a frickin' Tyrannosaurus zombie. Come on, that's awesome. When fielded, you may purchase a zombie character die for free and immediately field it at level 2. So yeah, one thing, there was a little confusion with this one though, because it's a purchase a zombie character die. This is a Tyrannosaurus zombie. With D&D, and with all sets, if it names a character like that, you need to have the exact name. Just like if Robin would say, oh, Robin gets such and such when Batman is active. White Lantern Batman wouldn't count for that. Black Lantern Batman wouldn't count for that. It has to be Batman. And so in this case, Tyrannosaurus has to get zombie, not Tyrannosaurus zombie. But yeah, that was all the great stuff in Tomb of Annihilation. But there's one other card in Tomb of Annihilation I want to talk about that is actually my favorite card of the year. Of everything we've seen, this might not be the card I use, the version of this card I use in my teams going forward, but just the design and the thought that went into this card just tickles me. I love it so much. And yeah, this is my pick for the best card of the year. The uncommon Batiri Battle Stack. That's Swarm, which of course I love. And then, when fielded, you may move an NPC die from your use pile under this character die. Then, while a Batiri Battle Stack character die has an NPC die under it, it gets +1/+1, and if it leaves the field zone, any NPC dice under it go to the use pile. So, the reason I love this card, it's not only is it Swarm, but you're thinning your bag of sidekicks, and it's giving itself a stat bonus to protect itself. And of course, you know, the thematic vision of a materia battle stack standing on the shoulders of a sidekick, like a little miniature Master Blaster or something from, you know, for you kids who have Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. But yeah, I really love this. I love the thought that went into it. I love the idea that it is not only is it swarm, it's thin in your bag, so it gives you this other extra versatility. Like, it's a way of getting all that stuff out of your bag without having to actually field it. I actually have been thinking about using this with like Tsar Colossus, who when he fields, he knocks out all sidekicks. The problem with that is you're then flooding yourself with sidekicks, but if they're underneath the materia battle stack, they're not being knocked out, they're still out of your bag, so you're more likely to be able to cycle the Tsar Colossus more quickly. But yeah, I love this card. I think it's just so much fun, so funny, and it's just, yeah. This is the stuff that makes me love Dice Masters. Yeah, that's my glowing love of the materia battle stack. And as I said, yeah, this might not be the one I end up using in my Worlds team, but I guarantee you there'll be a Swarm character in my Worlds team, or my Nationals team. But yeah, great card, absolutely great card, bravo. But that wraps up 2017, and you know, next we have 2018 to look forward to, where we've got Thor, and as I said before, we have Thor draft this Sunday here at Forestman Comics, 2 o'clock, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It was a fun 2017. And if the stuff we saw in 2017 is any indication, 2018 is going to be another fantastic year for Dice Masters. So, look forward to seeing you guys in the store, and hopefully see some of you at Nationals this year. So, thank you, and see you all on Sundays.